Hi, babies. What's up, guys? Jessa here from Life at Sycamore Ridge, and it's a Saturday. It's kind of been an interesting day for a Saturday. Now watch out. Just put in a clothesline, and hopefully I get a little use out of that. I'll at least do some towels and sheets and stuff. I don't know about clothes. We got a lot of bugs around here. But so far today, picked up a couple of does and made 2 trips to Orchlands so far. Got a run in and went to a farmer's market. So we're going to talk about that, but first I got to feed the crazy dogs. What's the matter, baby? Oh, poor baby. Oh, poor got the dogs as under control as they can be. You can see we're down one. Dottie finally went back to her permanent home, and so that's good. One less mouth to feed that way anyway. So I wanted to introduce everybody to new rabbits. I got a couple new rabbits last weekend, and I got a couple new rabbits this weekend. So I'll introduce you to those guys and show you some other stuff that I've been working on. This is one of the less pretty projects I've been working on. This is a compost tea. So if you see, this top bucket will drain out. It's got some coffee grounds and a little bit of compost. I don't know what else is in there. And then that's going to be the tea down in that bucket. A friend of mine got hers going, and she's had really good luck with it. So we'll see how it goes. It's still a pretty new adventure. Uh-oh. We better say hi to these girls while we're here. Hi, girls. Hi, girls. There's Sophie. And there's little Lizzie. There's Coco. Hi, Coco. Bye, Coco. So tomorrow, my mom's coming over, and we're finally going to butcher some of these butcher rabbits. I weighed them yesterday, and I've got 3 that are over 4 pounds. So we'll for sure butcher those. And that'll be, again, a few less mouths to feed. And I think I counted them. I've got 20 butcher rabbits right now. So we'll get those 3 butchered and feed the rest of everybody out. And we'll have a lot of rabbit meat here pretty soon. So I got to get these guys fed again. It's their second feeding time. Here are the latest additions, aside from the rabbits. We've got 5 broilers. I think I introduced you to them. And I introduced you to the 3 ducks, 2 cayugas and the khaki. And then we've got 2, I believe to be mallards, that Melissa just picked up, and 1 Wyandotte. We had another Wyandotte, but it passed last night, unfortunately. It's just so dang small. This guy seems to be doing all well. So these are the latest on the fowl front. They're pretty darn cute. We just cleaned out their pen here, and it's like you can't even tell. It stinks again already, thanks to those guys. This is something else we're experimenting with. So I've had this incubator for quite a while, and I've only used it but like once or twice. And I'm trying it again. I couldn't get the dang egg turner to work the right way, so we're turning them by hand. I need to get the humidity back up again. Oh man, I don't know. We've got 12 eggs in there. I'll be really curious to see what our hatch rate is. We're definitely noobs at this, but I've been rotating them 3 times a day. I need to rotate them again. And keeping an eye on the temperature and the humidity. It's a trip. We'll see how all that goes. I've also got, see over here, but I've got some cucumbers that I need to get out and some kale. Oh man, I don't even remember what all I planted now. I'll have to look. I did label them this time. But yeah, this stuff needs to get out to the garden. I still need to till another spot, but this is some of my fall garden right here. Jesse will be happy to know, and you guys probably aren't going to be able to see it because I don't have very good light in here. My camera's not very good. But I don't think I've ever shown you guys, but I have attempted and failed at raising mealworms. And I got a bunch of them a while back, and they were all worms, produced into the beetle stage, and then stopped. Couldn't get any eggs, couldn't get any worms, and I was just like, whatever. Threw my hands up, like, I give up, it's not working. Well, my nephew, Jesse, he checks on these every time he comes over and, like, scolds me because I'm not really feeding them, I'm not really taking good care of them. And he's like, I can't just do this by myself. So finally, I did a little bit of research to see, like, what I'm doing wrong. And I think I was leaving the beetles in too long. So I had the screen set up. That's that right there with the bottom, the screen bottom. And the eggs are supposed to fall through the screen down into the tote so that the beetles can't eat them. And I was having, like, no luck. So finally, I put the beetles into the tote, and then I removed the beetles after a while. And I am like, well, I'm 100% certain I have some worms in here. It's kind of hard to see, and it looks like they're going to town because they've definitely been eating this. I'm going to turn the light on and see if you guys can see what I see. Well, there's a pretty obvious one. There's proof in the pudding or in the digested oatmeal that I got worms. I got worms! Look at that. See how that just moves on its own? See that? That's little teeny tiny worms. You look really close there, you can see little baby mealworms. So I have finally successfully grown mealworms. Full cycle. And they're going to be hungry. Isn't that crazy? Look at that. You just see the ground. There's one. That one's a lot bigger. But if you look really close, there's eggs and worms in there. So I should have a pretty big batch of mealworms. Well, hi, Amelia. There's Amelia. So I'll feed these to my chickens, and I might make up a few into a treat or something for the chickens. Maybe try to sell a few. So I'm excited. I finally got it right. So I finally got a few mealworms after on and off again trying for like 2 years. I got mealworms. So now we're going to head out to the rabbit barn, and I'll show you what's going on there. So I'm slowly migrating all of the rabbits from the rabbit barn up to around the garden there. But the problem is, I keep getting more rabbits, and all my cages are down here. So until all the cages are up where they're supposed to be by the garden, the rabbit barn remains in effect. So I will introduce you to Odette's boyfriend. This is Odie. Odie is also a champagne, and he's also 4 months old, like Odette, but they're not related. So they will be a little match made in heaven. Isn't he beautiful? So pretty. So that's Odie. He's a good boy. And then today, I went and got a couple more girls. So, oh, she's eating. Got baby girl. This big girl, I'm naming Fancy. And she is gorgeous. She's a red satin. She's very large. Like Flemish giant large. She's super tame. So I picked the rabbits up at like 9. And then I did some errands and drove around. Went to the farmer's market. And when I went to pick these gals up, Fancy here was just hopping around the driveway, hanging out, and the owner, not the least bit concerned. She's super tame, don't worry. Just walked right up to her, picked her up, handed her to me. So I just put her in my truck, let her hop around. Well, I forgot she was in there. I was driving down the road, and then I got this furry bunny in between my legs. Scared the crap out of me. She just hung out all day. She definitely pooped a little in my truck, but she's super sweet. What are you doing, baby? Oh, she's baby. Look at her. She's a big sweetheart. So her and Ed will make some beautiful babies. She's just over a year old. She's already had 1 litter. And then I got this baby girl. So this is a Harlequin. She is not quite a year old, and she's never had a litter. So we'll try her out. She's got a beautiful coat. Look at that. Isn't she pretty? Harlequins are so pretty. So we'll see how she does. I'll give these girls a little time to acclimate before I start introducing them to the boys. What are you doing, handsome? You're a handsome boy. He's a baby boy. I had my lawnmower out the other day, getting this yard mowed. Not that you can really tell now. But I went ahead and raked up some of my mowed grass for the compost because my grass was so high. I think I could have baled it. I let it go a little too long, I think. And so that'll be nice in the compost. I need to rake this stuff up over here, but it's been so hot and humid. Well, not so much hot, but really humid. It's even sprinkling a little bit right now. So none of this is dried out yet, so I can't rake it up quite yet. Show you guys this. It's a little late in the year compared to last year, but I finally have some zinnias. Got 2 zinnias right there on Lily's spot, and hopefully more coming. Looks like something got into that. Just a couple more. I don't know what this is. Some sort of vine, and it kind of took over. I thought it would be blooming. I don't know, but I've got more zinnias. Oh, there's one coming up here at some point. The garden is doing pretty well. Jump over here. If Luna would stay out of the watermelon, quit swiping them, we'd have a whole heck of a lot more watermelon. My acorn squash is pretty much fizzled out. There used to be meh. So that's not doing much. This is a zucchini, and you can see part of the problem there. So I'll probably dust it a little bit here, a little bit. Got the eggs, little bastards. This is a melon right here. Ambrosia melon. You can see we've got one. There's several on here. There's another one of the zucchinis. It's looking better, but again, it's got some dang squash bugs on it. This is a cucumber that we thought was a squash. That's why it got planted here. It's doing pretty well. We've picked several off of it. There's a little baby one down there. Got some blooms there. Another zucchini. Oh my. So there were two large watermelon right here. And Luna keeps harvesting them for us. They're not ready to be harvested yet, but Luna doesn't seem to understand that. I told Melissa that's what she gets for weeding them. I don't weed very often. Looks like cucumber's trying to die back a little bit. There's a big watermelon right there. Hopefully Luna leaves that one alone. Got a few tomatoes. Mostly just one variety. I did like a bush cherry or something. That's what I planted the most of. I don't even much care for that variety. It's just okay. But it's high producing, and that's what I wanted at the time. So I can't complain there. It's another baby watermelon. There's one decent size. Hopefully Luna doesn't find it. Another good sized melon. I planted a few gourds this year. They had a assorted variety for sale at Hy-Vee when we went to get some stuff. So I went ahead and planted it, and it's doing something. It looks pretty good. There's one. And there's a couple over here. Oh, look at those little bastards. Squash beetles. I'm going to have to go get the diatomaceous earth. Ugh. Here's a squash. Not doing a damn thing. There's some more squash beetles of a different variety. Look at that, just devouring it. So frustrating. Can't hardly stay on top of them. Right through here, I've got some sweet potatoes. They still look pretty good. And my okra. Got a little one right there. Oh, you gotta check this out. I planted this like years ago, and it's finally doing something. But I've got blackberry here. I've harvested quite a bit off of it already. Oh, there's one. Can do without that. These are so freaking good. So good. Love it. Cucumber's actually doing pretty well this year compared to years past. I might actually do some pickling. Nothing crazy. I might pickle a few. Oh, I hear a bee. Hi, bee. Tomatoes. There's a little bit. What are you doing, baby? Little teeny tiny ones. They're so good. Tomato Tidy Treats is what this was called. I don't care what it was called. It's delicious. So I've talked to you guys about this plant, I think a couple of times. It's the mystery plant that Dawn gave me. Well, it's called a 4 o'clock. It's not a pepper. And these will open up this evening, these flowers will. And what these are really good for is those darn Japanese beetles. It will actually kill them. It attracts them, and then they die while they're on it. So Dawn and I have actually witnessed this firsthand. They will fall onto it, and then eventually just croak out. So next year, I think I need to plant them everywhere, because these Japanese beetles are so frustrating. See if they're over here. They just annihilate my roses. Of course, I want to show it to you so they're not there. But I've seen them on the roses. Here's one. Look at that bastard. Die. I hate you. Die. Oh, there's another one. So, I missed him. If I see him, I just squish him. I'm not really a violent person, but they're so frustrating. They have annihilated my grapes, my roses. They just get on everything and just, I mean, there's just no time to react. Here is the start of kind of a fall garden here. So these are dragon tongue beans. I just had a few seeds left, so that's what's in here. There's beets and then beets. And these were old seed. So I'm not really seeing much action here. So we'll see. Not holding my breath. But parsnips, no, that's a lie. Turnips. Turnips, turnips, turnips. And you can see these rows. They're actually doing pretty well. So I think it's 2 different kinds of turnips that I've got planted right here. And obviously they're coming up, so I think they'll do pretty well. Hopefully it's not too hot for them. It started cooling off this week, so I hope it stays cool enough that they do well. Dill is still a little bit of dill, actually, which is good because I think I might use a little bit and make a few dill pickles. Spaghetti squash that is still doing pretty well. So that's awesome. More of the sweet potatoes. If you look closely, more of the stupid beetles. This is another fall bed. Of course, I'm going to try to remember what all I got here. Kale. Spinach. Kale and spinach for sure. I don't remember if I put any cucumbers in the ground over here or not. I'm the worst this year. I'm not organized at all. So, we'll see. I'll look at my seeds again. But I see seedlings, and I'm happy. I've started tearing out some of the kale in this bed. Probably need to harvest this poor cabbage before it gets annihilated. These are pretty well getting ate up. That one actually looks surprisingly good. But look at this. Woo! Nothing left. Skeletonized. Look at that one, even worse. So, that's alright. Melissa and I were kind of over the kale. Mostly Melissa was. That's okay. Even this Brussels sprout over here is kind of getting annihilated. I started to mow out the beans. And of course, just as I was doing that, I started seeing beans. So I stopped mowing. I trimmed them back. And I bet there's no beans. I bet I only saw them when I was trying to mow. So I need to finish mowing this and get it tilled for another fall bed. Because I got those things inside that I showed you that I need to get up. Melissa's basil over here that I put in a few weeks ago looks really good. This is the mammoth basil. So good. So our strawberries did not do much this year. This is about the extent of the strawberry we got this year. Don't get me wrong, like it tastes amazing. Still tastes like a garden strawberry, but the size on them is just not where I'd want it to be. Oh, this is kind of funny. So the beans, I think I said it a while back in a garden tour. My brother put beans, green beans, climbing beans, around this trellis. They're old seeds, just threw them in, whatever. They took off like crazy, but they weren't blooming. Well, they finally got blooms on them. So there they are with the blooms. And look at them go. They're so pretty. We just thought I would have done it already by now. Get my fancy door here. My fancy door that does not stop dogs from eating watermelon. She can jump over the fence over there. So that's an upcoming project, is to reinforce, make taller the fence over there. So my outside garden here, which I'm now referring to as the chicken garden, actually had a cucumber on it, but the chickens beat me to it. These are more dragon tongue beans that actually survived the chicken ravishing. And then this is some cinnamon basil that seems to be doing all right. That's all I've really got going on today. It's a pretty quiet day. Saturday, and Melissa had to work. So just chilling out, getting a few things done, trying to get more of these videos up for you guys. So I hope you're enjoying your day. I hope you liked our little catch-up time here. If you want to see more of these videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button and catch us so you can get updates on all the rabbits and everything. And I'll see you on the next video. Later.